Dante's Boxing Nation, what's going on, guys? Well, it looks like the PBC series, the Premier Boxing Champions, was a hit tonight, courtesy of Keith one-time Thurman and Robert the Ghost Guerrero. First things first, man, I give Guerrero a lot of credit. This man definitely has a tremendous heart. I think the round he got knocked down in, the referee was only seconds away from stopping the fight. And luckily, he was saved by the bell because he was able to come back and rally and really push Keith Thurman. But Keith Thurman was comfortable no matter what situation he was in. Robert the Ghost Guerrero, later on in the fight, he pushed him up against the ropes. And Keith Thurman, he was comfortable there, catching him with counter uppercuts and all type of combinations. This was a great fight, man. Keith Thurman, he really proved a lot. I was at the weigh-ins on Friday, and when Keith Thurman stood on the scale, they showered this man with boos. I mean, it was straight overkill. It made no sense. Matter of fact, to me, I was looking at Keith Thurman. He even had somewhat of a surprised look on his face, like, are you serious? Really? Where did all this come from? All I can say is, welcome to the coincidental list, Keith. So my point is, after this type of performance that Keith Thurman put on this weekend, let's see if he gets booed in his next weigh-in. Now, even with me saying that, I could tell you I was watching the fight live, and even after Keith Thurman knocked down Guerrero and hit him with all of these beautiful power punch combinations, even after that, there were still fans yelling out, "Stop running, real champions don't run." You're saying this about Keith Thurman. And what's so funny to me is I'm thinking, like, do you guys really want this man to stand still and do what he just did last round? Do you guys really want this? You're rooting for Guerrero. For friends like that, you don't need no damn enemies, okay? But anyway, I was impressed. I mean, Keith Thurman, he adjusted in the first maybe 3 or 4 rounds. He was getting caught with a lot of check right hooks by Robert Guerrero. Now, what was really interesting about this fight is before this fight or leading up to the fight, Robert Guerrero, he was the one daring and challenging Keith Thurman, saying, I challenge you to stand right in front of me and not run, not move around the ring, so on and so forth. And then all of a sudden, we were in for a shock because it turned out Guerrero was the fighter moving around the ring, using lateral movement, taking steps back. And Keith Thurman was the aggressor. Matter of fact, as soon as the first bell rang, Keith Thurman, he jumped right on Robert the Ghost Guerrero. So like I always tell you guys, the truth will always break free. Okay? The truth will always come to light. And what that basically means is when you heard Robert Guerrero and Ruben Guerrero saying, Floyd Mayweather said he was going to fight us toe-to-toe. He lied. He ran like a chicken and so on and so forth. And then you fast forward to Keith Thurman, and I'm interviewing Ruben Guerrero, and he's saying, I want my son to box more. Oh, yeah, if my son needs to move, he knows how to move. And, he can do everything, which is how it's supposed to be, right? That's how it's supposed to be. Using movement, using lateral movement and boxing, it's not running. And this Saturday, Team Guerrero, they proved that they'll move around the ring just like Floyd Mayweather if need be. And there is, once again, nothing wrong with doing that. Okay? So this was a great performance, great test for Keith Thurman. I think the likes of Keith Thurman, Errol Spence, and maybe even Terrence Crawford, they're pretty much the future of the welterweight division. So let's see who Keith Thurman fights next. It could be possible that, for all we know, he could fight Floyd Mayweather next, should Floyd Mayweather get past Manny Pacquiao. We already know that if Pacquiao were to beat Floyd Mayweather, ain't no way he's going to fight Keith Thurman, because he doesn't want to fight anyone at the welterweight division outside of Floyd Mayweather. So let's see what happens in the future. I believe Al Heyman and the PB series, they're going to keep Keith Thurman and Adrian Broner very active, because Adrian Broner, he said at the post press conference that he's already scheduled to return in June. So hopefully we get some more fireworks around that time, or sometime, in 2015. That's all I got. I'm on to the next one.